Hello, sports fans. I'm sorry I didn't get to do the Scott Sports 101 Sunday night as the early late game sports game show or Sunday night football pregame post game show. So what we're gonna do, and the Monday night football game just ended, so we're gonna combine it. So welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Browns early late game Sunday night football Monday night football post game show. And I'll break down all of the NFL action from Week 8 and the Browns game as well. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football trivia question. And it's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers trivia question. What quarterback led the Buccaneers to their first winning season? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Well, before we get to the Monday night game, we're going to recap the Browns game from yesterday. And I got to tell you, the Browns did not look so hot yesterday. As they lost 16-6 to the Las Vegas Raiders. To the Las Vegas Raiders at First Energy Stadium. The Browns fall to 5-3 on the season, and the Raiders go to 4-3 on the season. The win total dropped consistently after the Browns lost to the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. Myles Garrett had a knee injury that could alter the rest of Cleveland's season. The NFL sacks leader injured his knee in the first quarter Sunday and was ineffective the rest of the way as the Browns were beaten 16-6 by the Las Vegas Raiders, who did a far superior job in handling the blustery weather than the home team did. And I'll drink to that. I'll agree with that. Excuse me. Garrett got hurt early, was examined in the medical tent and played sparingly in the second half. The Browns put him in during obvious pass rushing downs, but the star end lacked the usual explosiveness and didn't record a sack for the first time in 7 games. And he's like, I took a shot. I took a cut, said Garrett, who missed practice this time last week with an unrelated ankle injury. It was one of the first plays, and from that first shot, it just kind of started wearing on me. He did undergo an MRI today, or yesterday on Monday, but it is nothing serious, and he will be good to go after the bye week. So, now the Browns 5-3, and they were hoping it wasn't that nothing serious shows, but they know now it's nothing serious, and Garrett will be able to play when the Browns play the Texans in Week 10 after the bye week. It is part of the game, Garrett said. You get hampered with things like that. You just try to play through the best that I can, or the best that I could. It just started wearing on me. Started going to third downs, and then they were driving the field, and we were in passing downs. Garrett's injury aside, the Browns failed to build on the momentum from their thrilling win last week in Cincinnati over the Bengals. Baker Mayfield struggled to throw in the whipping wind. There were drop passes, costly penalties, and kicker Cody Parkey hooked a late 37-yard field goal to try. He hooked a late 37-yard field goal and to try that ended Cleveland's chance at a comeback. Also, the Browns failed to force a turnover, which has been one of their calling cards all season. The Raiders controlled the time of possession, holding the ball for more than 8 minutes on 3 scoring drives. Las Vegas racked up 208 yards rushing, and held the ball for 37 minutes and 43 seconds to Cleveland's 22 minutes and 17 seconds. The Browns only had the ball 6 times. It wasn't close to what Coach Kevin Stefanski expected from his team. I wish we were able to put some drives together and extend drives, but if you do not possess the ball and you leave the defense on the field that long, and they do not get off the field, it is just hard to win, he said. They did a nice job. They earned that victory, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. They earned that victory. Yes, they did. Mayfield was plagued by several big drops, including one by Jarvis Landry, the normally sure-handed receiver, being asked to do even more with Odell Beckham Jr. out for the season with a knee injury. With the Raiders up 6-3 in the third quarter, Landry's 20-yard TD catch from Mayfield was overturned by a replay review which showed he bobbled the ball and hit the ground for an incompletion. The Browns settled for a 33-yard field goal by Parkey, and that tied the game at 6 in the third quarter. And as you know, the Raiders would go on to win that game. Landry also his hands on it. Landry also got his hands on a potential TD in the final 2 minutes, but couldn't hold on to it because of a jarring hit from behind. Landry had 4 catches while targeted 11 times. I have very high expectations for Jarvis, Stefanski said. He has tremendous ball skills. I think he will make those plays. I did not have a loss of any faith whatsoever in him. I think he will always tell you every ball that comes his way he should catch. That is just his mindset. Mayfield, who went 12 of 25 carries and attempts for 122 yards, but couldn't get into a rhythm, found no solace in the improved Browns, reaching their bye week above 500. We have a 5-3 record. It should be a lot better, Mayfield said. We believe that. That is why our locker room is ticked off. We believe in this locker room, and we are going to continue to get better and hopefully going on a streak after this bye week. Be healthy and focus on getting better. We know what we can improve. And after we watch this film, we will do that even more so. Well, the Browns, it was a scoreless first quarter, but in the second, the Browns got as far as the Raiders 41, and they settled for a field goal, and Cody Parker's 41-yard field goal was good, and it was 3-0 Raiders. Then the Raiders got as far as the Browns 29-yard line, and they kicked a 29-yard field goal, and it was good, and it was tied at 3. And then the Raiders got as far as the Browns 33 because the Browns turned over the ball, and the Raiders got the ball back, and it was the kick was good, and it was 6-3 Raiders at the break. In the third quarter, This was when that play happened in the third quarter, when Landry had bobbled the ball and the TD was called back, and they had to settle for a field goal, and it was 6-6, tied in the third. And then the Raiders scored their only touchdown of the game. Derek Carr's pass to Renfrow was Hank Renfrow for a 4-yard touchdown. The replay official reviewed the pass completion ruling on the play was upheld, but the ruling on the field stood. It would manage to stand, and it was the extra point was good, and it was 13-6. Then the Browns turned the ball over again, and Mayfield just could not find a rhythm, as I said, but they got as far as the 24-yard line, the Browns 24, and kicked the field goal, and it was good, and it was 16-6, and nonetheless, the Raiders get the win, and this was one of those games where things just did not bode well for the Browns. Kareem Hunt had 14 carries and attempts, 66 yards, and Jarvis Landry 4 receptions, 52 yards. This was one game where the Browns did not score a touchdown and were limited to 2 field goals. Well, this bye week could not have come at the perfect time, because the Browns will look at their film, they will re-look at it and study themselves, look at their mistakes, study their mistakes. Then they will look at the film for the Houston Texans, who they play after the bye week in Week 10, here at First Energy Stadium. So I'm going to tell you, they will need to re-look at that. They will need to do that, and I think they will get the win against the Texans. They're going to want to bounce back. But needless to say, the Browns did not look at this one. But here are the game balls. And only 2 of them. Derek Carr, the quarterback, 15 of 24 carries and attempts, 112 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And Joshua Jacobs, 33 carries, 128 yards. So the Browns fall to 5-3. They go into the bye week with that record of 5-3, above 500. And hopefully we'll get the win over the Texans the week after the bye week and go to 6-3. So, boys, you better look at that tape. And you better study your mistakes hard. And study the Texans hard. And be ready to play on Week 10, Sunday, November 15th, against the Houston Texans here at First Energy Stadium, which kickoff will be at 1 o'clock on CBS 19. Well, we'll get to all the other NFL action in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football trivia question. What quarterback led the Buccaneers to their first winning season? And if you said Doug Williams, you are correct. The team that had won just 2 games in the first 2 years of their franchise existence went to the playoffs 3 times out of 5 seasons, with Williams at the start as the starter, and played in the 1979 NFC Championship game. I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. This is going to have to become a 2-part podcast because I'm running out of time for this first segment. So I'll be back with the part 2 of the Scott Sports 101 Browns early games, late games, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football post-game show after I upload this video. And I will have all the NFL scores and recap the Sunday and Monday Night Football games. So I'll be right back. Stay with me.